After a $2.5 billion profit this year, you can't deny that Qantas has financially recovered from the pandemic. But any business is not measured by profit alone, but also by its reputation. And Roy Morgan this week revealed Qantas's sharp reputational decline in its latest list of Australia's most trusted brands. So let's bring in here the Managing Director of Roy Morgan Research, Michele Levine. Michele, always good to chat to you. Just explain to me how severe is this fall, this decline in Qantas's reputation?
This is an extraordinary decline in Qantas's reputation. It's gone from being really one of the most trusted brands in Australia, and we all remember that time. In 2017, it was the second most trusted brand, and now it's fallen to the 13th most distrusted brand. And in numbers, that's 181 places down. So to put that into perspective, we all know that Optus has had that terrible breach of the data privacy issue. It dropped 18 places in terms of trust. So Qantas has really, really lost the trust of Australians, and in fact, it's moved into really substantial anger, distrust, frustration, disappointment. This is a really vitriolic feeling that's coming from Australians towards Qantas, the brand.
And in your history of companies that have reputationally been harmed, is this an easy thing for the Qantas management and its board to turn around?
I think it'll be an extraordinarily difficult thing for them to turn around. However, having said that, in this instance, so much of the venom and anger is towards Alan Joyce. He is actually seen to be, by the public, almost like the devil incarnate. Everything is slated back to him rather than the corporation as such. Now, whether that's right or wrong, that's what people are talking about. So the new CEO, Vanessa Hudson, she has an opportunity to come in and change things. And it will be an important role for her to do that, and it won't be easy. But I think it would be impossible if Alan Joyce were not stepping down. With Vanessa Hudson, it may be possible.
And financially, it has an impact because, of course, it gives consumers of Qantas a choice, or at least a decision in their minds as to whether they use that airline or whether they use one of its competitors.
No question. I mean, at the moment, I think anything but Qantas would be consumers' choice. So that would be expected to have really devastating effects.
So just tell me, have you ever seen a decline in the trust that the consumer has in a company in the way in which Qantas has so rapidly seen this decline?
Look, I think the only thing that would come close, and I can't even remember the placings, would be AMP. And it's really because AMP and Qantas were really trusted brands. And when something goes wrong, we look at these trusted brands and we feel so disappointed, we feel foolish, we feel stupid for having trusted so much. And that's when real distrust sets in. Now, AMP is starting to crawl its way back. It's actually starting to get back into people's good books. But I think Qantas even outstrips that. All of the issues with the banks, for instance, the banks were never highly trusted organisations. So when they were seen to be, the Royal Inquiry was held into banks, it was almost as if people kind of expected there might have been something going on anyway. But to go from the second most trusted brand, and perhaps even Bunnings was first, perhaps even before Bunnings came, Qantas was probably right up there, down to something which is, one of the most distrusted brands, is truly extraordinary. And it just keeps doing more.
Michele Levine, Chief Executive of Roy Morgan Research. Great to have your insight. Many thanks for your time today.